Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome to Flash Episode 2, Fastest Man Alive review. This episode focused on the villain was Multiplex guy. He can kind of clone himself. Unfortunately, he's dead. Spoilers. Whoops. 15 seconds in, I spoiled the end of the episode. Yes, Multiplex falls out of the roof and dies. Although I can see how they kind of twist it and say, oh, one of the clones was the real guy. But I doubt it. This episode was mainly to show Barry being beaten down by him getting used to his powers still, secrets he's having to keep, and other people not really supporting him, mainly Joe not supporting him a lot. I have notes right over there. My phone is right here. And apparently the new Marvel season, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is so good, and nah. I didn't really care for season 1. I watched like the first 2 episodes. I'm sorry, I'm getting off the track. I didn't like Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. very much. It was okay until the last couple episodes. Meh. Anyway, I'm much more about DC, which is why I'm doing the DC reviews. Yay! Also, the DC 10 movie lineup was announced today. Plus, the Batman Superman solo film, like 2 separate, not Batman Superman, Batman Superman. So 12 movies total have been announced by Marvel, by DC, which is incredible. Marvel's only announced through 2019, DC's announced through 2020. So, suck it, Marvel. DC's doing better. And they're going to keep doing better, because it's DC. So let's jump into the Flash. I explained the premise. So, I've already talked about Joe doubting him. That is my number 5 thing. Joe is doubting Barry, because he knows who Barry is. He knows he's the Flash. Even though I'm not calling him the Flash, he's still called the Red Streak to the media, much like how Arrow was, the Hood and the Vigilante in the first couple seasons. Now he's the Arrow to the people of Starling City. And I can talk about the Arrow because they're crossed over. And I think, never mind, I'm gonna get into that later. That's still like 8 weeks away. The crossover. So number 5 is Joe doubting him. And Harrison Wells confronts Joe about this. It's like, Barry's gonna keep failing if you don't support him. And Joe ends up realizing that no one can stop these metahumans except a metahuman like Barry. So he ends up coming in, much like how Harrison Wells did in the season premiere, where he wasn't all for heroism. He kind of comes in at the end and says, "You can do this, Barry. I screwed up, but you can fix it. Run, Barry, run." Joe kind of does the same thing by, now listen to me for once in your life and go get him. Which is really cool to see. Joe is now all in about Barry being this superhero. Number 5 is the development of Team Flash in this episode. I dub it Team Flash. Didn't really call it that yet. The same way how we call the people that live in the Arrowcave basically in Arrow, we call them Team Arrow. It would be Roy, Diggle, Felicity, and of course Oliver. Team Flash consists right now of Barry, Caitlin. It's not Cisco Ramon. That's his actor name, whoever he plays, the techie guy, and then Harrison Wells, are all part of Team Flash, and I think Joe will end up becoming part of Team Flash as the season progresses. But at the beginning of the episode, we have the character who plays Cisco, played by Cisco Ramon, directing Barry to this burning building to save these people, and Caitlin walks in and is like, "What's going on? Like, you can't do this, you're going to kill yourself." By the end, she's all for this heroism. Like, she agreed to help Barry stop the metahumans, but she didn't agree to everyday street thug kind of stuff. And now she's, at the end of the episode, she's all in for that. That's really cool, how we'll get to see Team Flash kind of progress. Number 3 is the structure of the show. A big thing about, okay, quick little segue, preface. Arrow is centered around flashbacks. From episode 1, right away we see these flashbacks are very prevalent in the show. I think like they tried 7 and 8, episode 7 and 8. If you watch them, I don't think they have flashbacks. They might have added them later, I don't remember. But they said at one point they tried not with flashbacks in episode 7 and 8, season 1, and it just didn't work. It didn't feel right. It felt like it was missing something. Flashbacks are a very key part of Arrow. First 2 seasons, he was in Leon Yu, the island. Now he's in Hong Kong in season 3. And now we're beginning to see, I just kind of thought, from last episode, it's just establishing origins and its history from his mom being killed. But no, we're seeing flashbacks progress. In this episode, we saw the flashbacks were of Barry trying to go see his dad in prison, and Joe trying to stop him, and his dad ends up saying that I don't want you to see me like this. Joe's gonna take good care of you. That's basically the synopsis of the flashbacks in this episode. But it's really cool that the creators of Arrow are taking the idea of flashbacks from Arrow and implementing it in the Flash. I don't know if that'll continue. There are only 2 episodes in, so I think by the end of the season finale, I'll be able to make a solid conclusion whether flashbacks will be a common structure to the Flash. And another thing I really like about the structure of the show is it begins with a narration by Barry. The last episode was, "My name is Barry Allen. I'm the fastest man alive. See that red blur? That's me. There I am again. There I am again." This episode opens with, "I know I'm supposed to do this big and show blah blah blah, but I'm the fastest man alive." Whatever, you know that stuff already. But there's me running around. So I don't know if that'll be a common thing. Does it sound like you just kind of rushed one to get over with in this episode? So we'll kind of, once again, we'll see how future episodes are, if they will implement that as a common structure to the Flash, or the flashbacks and the monologue narration intros. Number 2, at one point they were testing, because Barry ends up fainting, and as we know from the comics, if you or the universe, because of his powers, his metabolism, along with everything else in his body, is super duper fast. So when he's running really fast, his body uses up his blood glucose really quickly. So it's not scientific. Blood glucose really quickly. That's why he needs to keep eating a lot. And if they don't know this at this point, this is the second episode. Really early on into Barry's career as this crime fighter, about using his powers, figuring him out still, and they test him on it on this super treadmill. So the guy who Hormone plays, an treadmill can go 12 miles per hour max, like a 13, something like that. But this one can go like super duper speed, as fast as the Flash. Sounds funny. What I think this is, and I'm really excited about this. Most people have probably seen this if they don't really know much about the Flash. Would have been like, "Oh, it's just a treadmill. They're testing all stuff." But this could be. It was in a room that was kind of dark and like kind of lit up a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It was a little bit dark. It was dimmed lighting, and it reminded me a lot of the Cosmic Treadmill, which of course is how Barry originally, how the Flash originally started traveling through time by using the Cosmic Treadmill. And you actually kind of see that again in Justice Gods Among Us. Barry uses a treadmill kind of thing to open up the other dimension that Cyborg ends up traveling to the other dimension. If you want to know what I'm talking about, play Injustice. It's a great story. For fighting him, I loved it. Not very many gameplay. It was like 2 minutes of gameplay and we have a 5-minute cutscene. But it's a really good story. I highly recommend it. It's kind of why I stopped the Let's Play of it, because it was just bad to, there were no subtitles, and it was just bad commentary. Real room to commentate. So that's really cool that we see the Cosmic Treadmill, and we know time travel is going to be implemented in this episode, which leads me into my number 1 thing, how the episode ended. We have another reveal from Harrison Wells. In this episode, we have Stag Industries introduced. I don't know if that's a current big thing, because I don't really know much about the Flash. But Harrison Wells is killing the president of Stag Industries by revealing when he says, the guy, Simon Stagg is his name. He says, "I'm gonna find the guy in the red mask," or whatever. He comes up to Wells, who's in the wheelchair, and Wells starts kind of laughing and says, "The man in the red mask, the Flash, or as he will be called, the Flash," kind of stands up, and Simon's like, "What? You can stand?" And then Wells kills him. This reveals that Harrison Wells is going to be a main antagonist, not protagonist. That's Barry. Main protagonist, I think, as the series progresses. Maybe not this season. We've had leaked photos of Anti-Flash, Reverse Flash, whatever you want to call them, earlier in this week or last week. So that's really cool. I don't know if that'll be Harrison Wells. I don't think it will be. I think Harrison Wells is going to be one of those characters that just kind of builds upon like how Slade Wilson was in the first 2 seasons of Arrow. He's much more of a friend character to Oliver in the first episode. And I think in the second season of Flash, we're going to see Harrison Wells become that evil figure. So it's really cool to see how we progress Wells' past and who he is. Past, present, future, time travel, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. Yes, I'm a Doctor Who fan. I did the first 2 episode reviews. I've just kind of fallen behind the series, so I can just kind of stop doing reviews for them. I didn't have much to talk about. But yes, that is my review for Fastest Man Alive, Episode 2 of the Flash Season 1. My name is Denver Gamer. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, and tune in for more Flash, Gotham, and Arrow reviews weekly and almost daily Pokemon and Super Mario episodes until I'm done with the game, of course. After that, I'll be doing Professor Light and Curious Village, just that one game, because doing 2 games has been hectic. Really hectic, but I'm keeping it up. So until next time, God bless. See you then.